let us see the dissection of this hand. So firstly we know about the orientation of this hand. So this is the lateral side because thumb is lie laterally. This one is the medial side because the little finger lie medially. So this is the palmar surface and this one is the dorsal surface. So this is the palmar surface. This we are already removed the skin and the superficial fascia and the palmar brevis muscles and the palmar aponeurosis from this palmar surface of this processes hand. So we can see the thenar and the hypothenar muscles. So this is the hypothenar muscles. These consist of the three short muscles. So first one is this most lateral muscle is the abductor pollicis brevis. It will take the origin from the flexor retinaculum and the tubercle of scaphoid and the trapezium from over here, and it insert the lateral side of the base of proximal phalanx of the thumb over here. So this is the abductor pollicis brevis. Medial to this is the flexor pollicis brevis. It arises by the two head, the superficial head and the deep head. The superficial head arises from the flexor retinaculum and the crest of trapezium over here, and the deep head arises from the trapezoid and the capitate over here. And these two heads join and to insert into the lateral side of the base of proximal phalanx of thumb over here. Now the another muscles of the thenar, the deep to this muscle, this is the apponens pollicis. This one is the apponens pollicis. It will arise in the flexor retinaculum and the crest of trapezium over here, and to insert onto the lateral half of the palmar surface of the shaft of first metacarpal over here. All these three thenar muscle will supply by the recurrent branch of the medial nerve. Sometimes the deep head of the flexor pollicis brevis is supplied by the deep branch of the ulnar nerve. Now the another muscle you can see over here. It lies deep to the long flexor tendon and the lumbrical muscle. So this is the abductor pollicis. It arises, this one, it arises by the two head, transverse head and the oblique head. The transverse head, it arises from the longitudinal ridge of the third metacarpal bone over here, and to the oblique head it arises from the base of the second and third metacarpal bone adjoining the trapezoid and the capitate. These two heads join and to insert in the medial side of the base of proximal phalanx of the thumb over here. Now move to the hypothenar muscle. So this is the hypothenar muscle. So this hypothenar consists of three short muscles. So most medial muscle, this one is the abductor digiti minimi. It will take origin from pisiform bone and the tendon of flexor carpi ulnaris over here, and to insert this the medial side of the base of proximal phalanx of little finger over here. Lateral to this one is the flexor digiti minimi. It will arise from the flexor retinaculum over here and the hook of the hamate, and it insert into the medial side of base of proximal phalanx of little finger over here. So this is the flexor digiti minimi. This is the abductor digiti minimi. Deep to this muscle, You can see this is the opponent's digiti minimi. It arrives the flexor retinaculum and the hook of the hamate and insert to the medial side of the base, medial side of the palmar surface of shaft of fifth metacarpal bone over here. Now we can see the long flexor tendon. So we can see the long flexor tendon of the muscle of forearm and also called the long slip of the muscle of the forearm. So this is this fourth slip, long slip of the flexor digitorum superficialis. You can see this superficial slip. This is the one, this one the second slip, and this is the third, and this is the fourth. And deep to this is a long slip of the flexor digitorum profundus. This four. This one is one slip, and this one is the second slip. You can see, and this is the third, and this is the fourth. The long slip of the flexor digitorum profundus, it gives the origin of the lumbrical muscles. Let's see the lumbrical muscles. Firstly, we can see the flexor digital slip of the flexor digitorum profundus. These are the four digital slip of the flexor digitorum profundus from lateral to medial. This one is the first digital slip of the flexor digitorum profundus. Superficial to this is the digital slip of the flexor digitorum superficialis. This one. And this is the second digital slip of the flexor digitorum profundus for the middle finger. This one is the third digital slip of the flexor digitorum profundus for the ring finger, and this is the fourth digital slip of the flexor digitorum profundus for the ring finger. The lumbrical are originate from these four digital slip of the flexor digitorum profundus, as you can see right here. Lumbrical are four in number from lateral to medial. From lateral to medial. This is the number from lateral to medial. This is the first lumbrical. This one is the second lumbrical. This one is the third lumbrical, as you can see here, and this is the fourth lumbrical. What are the origin of the lumbrical? The lumbrical are first, and this one is the first and second lumbrical originate from the radial side of the digital slip of the flexor digitorum for the index finger, for the middle finger. The first and the second lumbrical are unipinnated in nature, and then third, this one is third, and the fourth lumbrical are originate from the adjacent side of the digital slip of the flexor digitorum profundus for the middle finger, as you can see right here. This one is the flexor digital slip for the middle finger and the ring finger and the little finger. So the third and the fourth lumbrical are bipinnated in nature. Where the insertion of the lumbrical? The lumbrical, all lumbrical are goes distally and form the narrow tendon. You can see right here. and goes distally and cross the radial side of the metacarpophalangeal joint. You can see, and goes backward and insert on the radial side of the base of the dorsal digital expansion for the foremedial finger. We can see right here. This is the first lumbrical. This one is the second lumbrical. This is the third lumbrical. This one is the fourth lumbrical. What are the nerve supply of the lumbrical? This is first and the second lumbrical are supplied by the medial nerve, and the third, this one is the third, and the fourth lumbrical are supplied by the T branch of the ulnar nerve. The first, you can remember that the first and the second lumbrical are unipinnated in nature, and the third and the fourth lumbrical are bipinnated in nature. That's about the lumbrical. Now, after removing the long flexor tendon of forearm and lumbrical muscles and the blood vessel and the nerve of the palm from this palmar surface of this processes hand, so we can see the interossei muscle. So this is the interossei muscle. The interossei consists of 4 palmar and the 4 dorsal interossei. Number from lateral to medial. Interossei. So these are the palmar interossei. We can see over here. These are the number from 4 in number from lateral to medial side. So this is the lateral side. So this one is the first palmar interossei. This one the second palmar interossei. This is the third palmar interossei, and this is the fourth palmar interossei. They are unipinnated in nature because they are arise from the bun and their oval metacarpal bone. The bun of the important thing we can note it here. The axis of the palm is passes from the third metacarpal bone and to the middle finger on the basis of functional requirement. So the palmar interossei cannot arise from the third metacarpal bone and cannot give any attachment to the middle finger over here. And now the origin of the palmar interossei. So we can see this is one of the first palmar interossei. They arise from the base of the medial side of the first metacarpal bone over here, and the second palmar interossei. So this is the second palmar interossei. They arise from the medial side of the shaft of second metacarpal bone over here. Now we can see this is one of the third palmar interossei, and this is the fourth palmar interossei. They arise from the lateral side of the shaft of fourth and the fifth metacarpal bone over here. Now the insertion of the palmar interossei. All palmar interossei insert in the base of the proximal phalanx of the corresponding digit, and partially they insert in the dorsal digital expansion. Now move to the dorsal surface of the hand. So we can see over here, these are the dorsal interossei. So these are the dorsal interossei. They are the 4 in number from lateral to medial side. So the first dorsal interossei cannot see over here because the cut over on this prosthesis hand. Now we can see this is the second dorsal intersii. This is the third dorsal intersii and this is the fourth dorsal intersii. The dorsal intersii are bipinnated in nature. We can see over here. They arise because they arise from the adjacent side of the metacarpal bone. And now the insertion of the dorsal intersii. This is the first and the second dorsal intersii are insert on the radial side of base of the proximal phalanx of the index and the middle finger, and partially they insert into the dorsal distal extension. The third and the fourth dorsal intersii, they are inserted on the ulnar side of the base of the proximal phalanx of the ring and the middle finger, and partially they insert on the dorsal distal extension. Now the nerve supply of the dorsal interossei and the palmar interossei, they are both are supplied by the deep branch of ulnar nerve. It's all about the dorsal and the palmar interossei. Now we can see the arterial supply and the nerve supply of the hand. Arch on this prosthesis hand. So firstly we know the orientation of this hand. This is the lateral side because the thumb is present laterally. This one is the medial side because the little finger is present medially. This is the palmar surface. This one is the palmar surface. So we are already dissect the skin and superficial fascia on this prosthesis hand. So firstly we can see the radial artery and the ulnar artery. On the lateral side you can see this one is the radial artery. So the radial artery mainly give the three branch in the hand. This one is the first one is the superficial branch of the radial artery. This is the superficial palmar branch of the radial artery. The superficial palmar branch of the radial artery, this one, it enters the palm superficial to the flexor retinaculum. This one is the flexor retinaculum. This one is the superficial branch of the radial artery. Later it forms the superficial palmar arch. Second is the Francis pollicis artery. This one is the Francis pollicis artery. It divides into two and then supply in the adjacent side of the thumb. We can see right here. This one is the Francis pollicis artery. And third one is the radialis indicis artery. This one is the radialis indicis artery. This one. It descends distally. We can see right here, and then supply the lateral side of the index finger. Now on the medial side, this one medial side is the ulnar artery. This one is the ulnar artery. The ulnar artery enters the palm superficial to the flexor retinaculum. You can see right here. This is the flexor retinaculum. This one is the ulnar artery. The ulnar artery enters the palm superficial to the flexor retinaculum and deep to the superficial slit of the flexor retinaculum, along with the ulnar nerve. This one is the ulnar nerve on the medial side of the ulnar artery. This is the ulnar artery. The ulnar artery divided into two branches, superficial and a deep. This one is the superficial branch of the ulnar artery, and this one is the This one is the D branch of the ulnar artery. It later to form the D palmar arch. How to form the superficial palmar arch? This one is the superficial palmar arch. How to form the superficial palmar arch? The superficial palmar arch on the medial side is formed by the superficial branch of the ulnar artery. This one is the superficial branch of the ulnar artery. Whereas the lateral side, it is completed and formed by the superficial palmar branch of the radial artery. This one is the superficial palmar branch of the radial artery. What are the branches of the superficial palmar arch? The superficial palmar arch give the 4 digital artery. One is the proper palmar digital artery. This one is the proper palmar digital artery. This one. It run distally and then supply the medial side of the little finger. We can see right here. This one is the proper palmar digital artery. Remaining 3 are these 3 are the common palmar digital artery. Each common palmar digital artery goes distally and into the wave space. Here it joins the palmar metacarpal artery of the D palmar arch. We can see right here. This is the palmar metacarpal artery of the D palmar arch. This one. And then each common palmar digital artery divide into 2 proper palmar digital artery. We can see right here. This is the one proper palmar digital artery and this one is the another palmar proper digital artery. We can see right here. This is the common palmar digital artery. Here it divided into 2 proper palmar digital artery. This means one proper palmar digital artery. This is another proper palmar digital artery. And then supply the adjacent side of the finger. We can see right here. The superficial palmar arch and its branch supply the medial side 3 and half finger. On the lateral 1 and half finger is supplied by the direct branch of the radial artery. Now another arch lie deep to this arch and the deep to the long flexor tendon and lumbrical muscles is called as the D palmar arch. The D palmar arch cannot see right here. So the D palmar arch is formed by the medial side by the D branch of the ulnar artery. We can see right here. This is one of the D branch of the ulnar artery. On the lateral side, it is formed by the terminal part of the radial artery. What are the branches of the D palmar arch? The D palmar arch gave the 3 palmar metacarpal artery which join the common palmar digital artery of the superficial palmar arch. We can see right here. This one is the one palmar metacarpal artery of the D palmar arch, and also gave the 3 perforating artery which run into the 3 interosseous space, second and third and fourth interosseous space, and then anastomos with the dorsal metacarpal artery, and also give the recurrent branch. That's about the superficial and deep. Now we can see the nerve supply of this hand. The main nerve of the hand on the medial side, this is the ulnar nerve. It entered into the palm, superficial to the flexor retinaculum and deep to the superficial slip of the flexor retinaculum. In the hand, it divides into the superficial branch and the deep branch. So this is the ulnar nerve. The superficial branch is supply the palmaris brevis and the skin and the deep and the fascia of the medial 1.5 digit and the associated palm. And the deep branch is bind around laterally and deep to the long flexor tendon, and it supply the hypothenar muscles and the 4 palmar interossei and the 4 dorsal interossei, and also supply the 3rd and the 4th lumbilical, and laterally it supply the adductor pollicis, and also sometimes supply the deep head of the flexor pollicis brevis. Now laterally is, this is the medial nerve. Medial nerve enter into the palm deep to the flexor retinaculum and divide into the lateral branch. This one is the lateral branch and the medial branch. The medial nerve is supply the thenar muscles and first and the second lumbrical muscle, and the skin of the lateral 3.5 digit and the associated palm. So this is about the nerve supply of the hand.